Today we'll be doing a conscious channeling of the Venusian Council. We brought them in last week, and I'd like to bring them back because of their clarity and their capacity to help us not only verbalize things that we typically can't put past a normal thought process, but understand certain things about our DNA function, because that is precisely what's going on right now in this unique spring equinox for March of 2023. I particularly want to talk to you about what they're saying with time and manifestation abilities being different, starting after the 23rd. What even is today? It's the 18th. So one of the things that I want you to know is that an equinox is not just a portal on a particular day for a particular time. An equinox will typically extend for a minimum of 30 days that you can capitalize upon the energy that's coming through and work that through your mind and body constructs and see some big changes in your life. So keep that in mind, that this one will be well into April, probably around the end of April. Some astrologist needs to come back me up because I don't do astrology. I just channel and make predictions. I also do remote viewing, and we've been doing a lot of that on this channel. Check out my Humans from the Future if you're interested. Okay. So from the planetary aspect of things, what this looks like for Mother Earth, let's start there with some of the signs that you will see. The first thing they've been telling me here, for those of you who are just popping in, we're channeling the Venusian Council, and they've been making it remarkably clear. And I go verify all these things. I don't just spout them out. When it comes to what happens to the planet, you can look particularly at my yearly predictions and see a lot, particularly for planetary shifts. And those things come true and already have been this year and last year and the year before. But this year, there's just so many of them. Seers out there, you're going to be seeing things you don't want to see, but the Venusians are saying you need to be ready for being able to understand the deeper positive implications of what you're seeing as the world is making these massive planetary shifts. So we have a lot more of these very unusual earthquakes coming about. They're not they're not very predictable. They are coming about with no particular warning, or if they do give a warning, meteorologists will be able to pick them up this month and next, but they will say that they're going to be mild, and then they'll be devastating. And then you'll have things that will give you a last minute sign where you think that it's going to be devastating, and it rumbles a bit and goes away. You find earthquakes in places that haven't happened for 26,000 years, because that is the unique planetary cycle that we are arising from. So new energies are arising right now. New energies it's going to be, I wouldn't say impossible, but slightly difficult to explain how we are perceiving form outside of form, how time is moving differently, and your willingness to trust and just follow along, go with the flow, as the Venusians always say, trust, flow, and allowance. When you follow those are spirit technologies of the soul, the human soul. So the reason why all these councils, not just the Venusians here today, but the Galactic Council of Nine, the Pleiadian Council, so many beings channeling through me are saying, here are the soul's technologies. And you guys go, technologies, AI, CGI. We did want to talk about that today because that's not where we're going. But you're going to have to not take the bait. The bait is going to be like a carrot flashing in front of you as you attempt more diligently to hold on to the true technologies in the human soul. And here is what the galactics are here to help you do. to be grounded and embodied and empowered in the human soul construct, in those technologies, with arising from the new light energies. They're arising from these new light energies that are coming in. And they're just a remembrance of the soul itself, both individually and collectively. And when you can really grasp this, you won't be afraid of the word technology anymore. I know sometimes we get on YouTube, and if I don't give you really clear examples of the fact that these teachings are keeping you human, not making you something different, you kind of get freaked out when we say technologies. But when we say technologies, we mean of the human soul. And this month and next is going to be a very powerful time where many carrots are going to be dangled in front of you by your governments, by your own spiritual communities, by your own spiritual leaders, by your own favorite YouTube channels. There's going to be so many people jumping on this bandwagon of what they're calling a new technology, but it strays you even further away from the human soul. Keep that in mind. That was a big one that came up. Don't take the bait, they're telling you. Doesn't mean you're going to be left behind and you're not going to use some technologies in your health, wealth, and well-being. But your soul needs to come first, because that's what keeps you uniquely you in your humanness. That's really, really important right now, because what you're going to be seeing from this month throughout all the way to next March of next year is not that. You're going to be seeing more and more people looking less human, acting less human, feeling less human. People saying, I want to go home. I don't want to be on this planet anymore. You don't take that bait. Don't take that bait. Keep your life natural. Keep your life real, and keep you. So let's talk about the new energies arising and how it affects the brainwave function. That was a big one coming through today for brainwave function. We're used to the brain waves operating and the brain synapses based upon its own skill set. It learns from memories of the past. You are starting to learn, beginning now, all the way through this unique portal until the end of the end of April. You're starting to learn from memories of the future. Why do you think I'm bringing the remote viewings and channelings of humans from the future to you? You are beginning to learn from memories of yourself in parallel realms and you in the future, outside of the time constructs. The future hasn't happened yet. And yet, the more you understand what they're saying today, you will realize that it's right here before you to create it up right here, right now. So your brainwave function is no longer synapsing based upon a memory set from your past, memories from the future. So this synapse responds differently to pain. It responds more quickly to tell you that you're in your pain and you need to get out of it, but more appropriately that the pain is only a measuring device, not a truth, that the pain is a signal to make a change. The pain is what we call, on the council here, they're saying we call this a revelation technology. So when pain comes, it's not because I did something wrong in my past. It's not because I need to fix myself. It's not because of my old broken self. It's because I'm merely off track from the potential of the future me with where I want to go in my sovereignty, where I want to go. Venusians are huge into the I am technologies. And what you say after I am is going to come true for you, not this month, not next month, right now. If you're really deeply set forth in the belief system, your imagination construct is on fire right now. And the mind is going, things are happening that I can't even believe. Right. Except that you did on some level where it wouldn't be happening. It's like having a déjà vu of something that hasn't happened yet. Instantaneous revelation from the thought construct of the future you. If we all can really understand this and stay within the human soul technologies, it's going to be a great year. Okay, so synapsing based upon that. Okay, here's another thing. You are operating in lesser density patterns based upon this, because when your brain is moving more quickly and the synapse across a wave happens instantaneously, then you recognize that you're operating in higher density, but your body is still of a lesser density. So your mind is kind of in this new energy, this rising and consciousness energy. And your mind is giving you a bunch of synchronicities and signs about whether or not you're ready to achieve your full potential. Okay? It's working with you hardcore. All right? So when you have lesser density things and forms operating in higher density realms, according to the council today, time will move quickly. And what that means is whatever can't keep up goes away. Whatever can't keep up breaks or stands in pause until you choose to reset your brain back into the soul's technologies of your potential. Okay? So if you, and these are many things, batteries, computers, electronics, and if your brain wants to be reset back in the past, back into memories, back into fears, back into shame, back into grief, back into loss, back into protecting yourself from everything and everyone, then you can't keep up. And guess what breaks? Not just your technologies, but your mind. The psychological constructs begin to crack. That's why so many of you are coming around and saying, I feel like I'm losing my mind right now. Well, you are, in a good way, because the mind was operating in dense patterns that caused more pain, caused more suffering, caused more of a standstill. And if you want your mind to keep up, you have to cleanse it and purify it, work in the construct of forgiveness, work in the construct of compassion. These councils work in soul technologies. So they're giving you two today. Work with compassion, work with forgiveness, work with trust, flow, allowance. They've given you just many more just now. But the mind will go back and it'll attempt to reset you back into your former ways. It'll pull you back into density by saying, well, I can't trust and flow with what I don't know, which isn't true. And then you're reset backwards again and again and again. And then pain tells you, oh, we just reset backwards again into the old painful duality-based constructs. Go pay attention to some of the Metatron teachings and channelings this past week that I labeled Break the Matrix, because we talked about two different ways to get out of the matrix, and we're going to talk again about deeper ways to get out of the matrix and bring in Metatron and the council again in April to prepare you for this and to help you understand these new manifestation technologies. So I think probably we listed that availability for that class at the top of the chat, but I don't know if we did. If we didn't, now you know. You can go to PamelaAaralyn.com to grab that. We're going to go deeper, much deeper. But if you want your body to keep up with this light construct, this new energy that's arising this month and next, you're going to have to feed it light foods. Okay? If you want your mind to keep up, you're going to have to feed it and nourish it with light thoughts, light codes, light-based sounds. That's what I'm here for. The light-based sounds. Got so much of my music on this channel. And a lot of the councils are the ones who help me give it to you and prepare my body to my vocal cords, all the things to give you those tones. But any sounds, I love so many of Venusian Council sounds. I love Melan Moritz for the councils that operate through her light codes, through her sounds and vibrations. Many of us are creating light codes and light sounds for you. So I would suggest feeding your mind with light codes and light language. Deadova also is incredible with light language. That will keep your mind exactly where. I don't care if you have to plug it in all day. This particular equinox is one of the reasons why I chose to do an in-person sound healing tomorrow here in the Redlands in Colorado, because you need that. You need this right now to go through this. So here's the theme. The theme for the equinox, according to the council, is emergence. You are rebirthing your essence and you are emerging. You are emerging into what you always were. You just have forgotten. Okay. Gracie, no. Gracie. I'm going to call Mom to come get you out. The cat's scratching. So the theme is emergence, except not necessarily like the vision that they gave me was not like a cocoon inside, the worm inside, the caterpillar inside of the cocoon. It was mostly that you're emerging from a human form into a light body. That cocoon is not there anymore, and it has been taken away, and you're coming upon this big change. And the revelations that are coming through in this new energy that is arising, they're shocking. I just feel this. And as a seer, I get a lot of visions about this, and I'm still interpreting them. But this month and next, do not be surprised if you get even more disclosure, even more galactic disclosure. And then Americans trying to say it was just a balloon or it was just some scientific project. It was just something to measure the weather over Lake Michigan. It was just this. It was just that. I know that most of you know better by now. You're going to get a deeper revelation of someone in your American governance that is pretending to be incredible and just really has a terrible agenda. You're going to get a deeper revelation of somebody coming back into office that half of you love, that half of you hate. That's for America alone. You're getting deeper revelations of some of the darkness that's happening in your governments, and your eyes are straight on it. But you can't have your eyes always straight on it all the time. Take the information, say, I know, and I'm still here in my human soul, focusing on what I can change, what I and my friends and family and neighbors in town can shift. I am focusing on the task placed before me individually and in my soul groups, the people that I know personally. Don't take that bait. Fake distractions and real distractions abound. Okay? No, it ain't Clinton. It's not so far from that. Oh, no, that's not who's coming back. But also that's like, these are just predictions that I see that could change. And the councils have warned me that the person who wants to come back is, he's not safe. He's being stalked and followed and he's in danger. So let's hope that he makes it, if he is going to make those changes. If he's going to be the one that does it. But right now, more than anything, it's left to us to change because we're breaking a 26,000 year cycle. 26,000 year cycle. That's big. So as we emerge out of that, we wanted that cocoon gone. We wanted to see the truth, but now we're deeply distracted with truths that happen in non-reality, truths that happen in our disillusioned, insane world of politics. And you guys have your eyes on that as if that is your soul. And you need to cover your eyes and go in here. This is the soul. This is the soul. You are the saviors of this beautiful planet. Let those constructs fall. Okay? Let them fall. Don't worry about who's coming into office. Those are just predictions. You're wanting change, and the cocoon has been not slowly pulled from you, or it didn't slowly desecrate in the way that a caterpillar to a butterfly would often arise. It was ripped. It's just ripped from you. And you're wanting change, but relying upon the same paradigms. You're not even going to know whose side is what anymore because you're releasing the old paradigm of what politicians are good, what politicians are bad. By the end of this cycle, you'll be so confused about good and bad anymore that you start to recognize that if you want change, you have to create your own constructs. Right? So don't try to determine who's from the dark side and who's from the light side, or you're going to get confused. They're all wings on the same damn bird. That was my channeling, not the Venusians, that part. But you know where I'm going with that. What the Venusians are primarily saying here is that you want change, but you're relying upon the same paradigms. And this has to change in March because the paradigm of change is here now. But are you ready for it? Are you going to keep wanting to rely upon the same paradigms? Right? All right. So that's going to feel, it's almost as if you'll get a flash of the whole, true, beautiful, illuminated you in the future. But the only way to keep that and make it more than a flash is to pull yourself out of this good, bad, right, wrong, left ring, white ring, all of that paradigms. Let that die because this new energy that's arising, it won't work. You'll just go into cognitive dissonance, and then you'll have that the standstill, the pause is what the Venusians call it, and then the reset back into the old paradigms. And then you'll wonder why your body's in pain. Gracie, please stop. Oh my gosh. I'm going to call your mother. It's the cat. Okay. You're going to be getting more of all of these paradigm changes, and you have to be ready for what you're creating. Okay? You have to be ready for what you're creating. Do you hear that? Because you're going to be getting these flashes of not a new you, but it looks like a more empowered new you. It's just because you don't remember. And the way to keep that and to reset your entire brain and body and shift your life is to stay outside of duality paradigms and to create from this new arising energy, to create this end consciousness, to be in the stillness and not in the reactive ego and the judgments and the attachments, not in the ego that you're telling is your empathy, that you're saying that's your psychic abilities, you're saying that's coming from your heart. But if it's reactive at all, for the good or the bad, you have to dismiss it. This is the new energy that's rising. If it's too good and you want to go worship something you think is absolutely the best, dump it. Dump it. Right now, let it go. You can't keep giving your power over in this new paradigm. If you think it's absolutely the worst and evil and dark things and dark ones and dark this and dark that, okay. Yeah, okay, you woke up, but this was so 2020. Let that go too. Now you know. Now what? All right? Now you know. Now what? It's not just, I'm going to keep keyboard worrying and posting posts about it, but not actually changing my thoughts, changing my body. When you change your mind, you have to change your life. This is the biggest message today. These new energies feel unusual. And you'll feel a little bit lost when you have to let go of all the things that you thought were true and right. It's easy for me to say let go of the things you thought were evil or from the dark. That was easy. That was 2020. What's new, what's arising is that you can't put too much adoration on what you think is good either. You just need to keep focus on the soul construct and on the positive, powerful, blissful, wonderful future, flawed and all, that you are trying to create. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to make things feel good. The reactive ego is going to buck you the whole way. It's going to buck you the whole way. It's going to cause cognitive dissonance. It's going to cause so many different things. Okay. Questions? Today's not a good glasses on day or glasses off day. And it's really, even the ego likes to misinterpret the I am construct when we're going through the end of a 26,000 year cycle and you don't know what this new cycle looks like. Just remember, it's instantaneous. What's true is now. Don't even say what's true is love, because the ego will try to tell you what feels loving and what doesn't, and it's not often right. Right. Trying to find passion? Okay. Try to find what lights you up, but sometimes the ego is going to say, well, nothing lights me up. Or the ego is going to say, well, I'm just not going to do my dishes or taxes because that just doesn't light me up. Right? Sometimes even when we say what lights me up, then we get sad that nothing does. But what we have forgotten is that other humans are supposed to light us up. You'd rather replace that even with spirituality, according to the Venusians. You'd rather be in meditation all day or just not have any friends and just hang out with your dogs. In this new paradigm, we are supposed to light each other up. We create the new music. We are the new poetry, the beauty of the human soul, not just one of us, but all of us. This is the new paradigm. Being around your starseed family, that's what will light you up. You won't be allowed to be alone this year. Your starseed family will keep finding you. So now what? How do you want to deal with this? Your willingness to trust and to follow your soul, not your heart. If you tell yourself it's your heart, your mind will get in the way and say, well, my heart will tell me what feels good to me. But this isn't about what feels good or bad or right or wrong. This is going to require relieving yourself of dualism vocabulary, of modern day vocabulary that basically is sapped of meaning and has no soul. So many people are walking around saying things that have no meaning. What does grounded mean? Why do we keep saying it? That was, the Aquarian age. Everyone was all about be grounded or enlighten yourself or do something to lift or to pull down. But even those two concepts have to be released. Everybody is already enlightened. You've already done it. Many, many, many parallel lifetimes you've done it. You wouldn't be here if you haven't experienced it at least once. You wouldn't be here because this is grad school, not boot camp. Questions? Oh, this is something we have to just throw down. You have to throw this outside of your mind, all right, once and for all. And don't bash me in the comments. Shoot the don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot anything. I was going to say go for the council, not me, but they're like, okay, this question, if I took the jab, am I still on the ascension path? Did juicers get hijacked to dissension? No, no, and no. Oh want to try not to get triggered when I say this to you. Do you think that a human man-made medicine can hold you back from your soul? Do you think that anything can hold you back from your ascension path? Do you? Do you really believe that? That you are that disempowered? 26,000 years of a cycle we've broken together, and you think that a little jab in your arm is going to hold you back? I don't care what's in that shit. Nothing can hold you back if you got the vaccine or if you didn't. This is more of the duality talk where people are coming in, and you're going to see this all over your favorite YouTube channels. Since 2020, you've been seeing this. If you eat meat, they replaced if you eat meat with if you got a vaccine. Right? And it's always going to be something. Next year, it'll be like if you use the wrong monetary system. What? What you know, like what's going to be next? They'll find something. See through that. Please see through that is what they're saying. All right. Let's see. Next question. I don't see any questions yet. We have just a few more minutes. Kristen says sovereignty is powerful. Absolutely it is, and you need to remember it. I dreamt about upgrading some kind of software. Danya said, the council said you are your memory cells, the cells that contain the memory, the parts of your brain that hold memory are being upgraded right now. That's huge. That's happening physiologically, right? Will smoking hold me back? No, not after this 26,000 year cycle. You might die. You might get sick. You might, or you might not. You know, here's what they're saying to you. It's not that a matter if it's going to hold you back, because the moment you say, is it going to hold you back, you pull yourself into that density pattern of right and wrong. It's good for me. It's bad for me. You know what's good for your body and you know what's not. Now, Metatron will have he'll sing a different tune for you on that. And he'll say, you know good and well that smoking is not good for your body. And you know that you don't want the physical body to, because if you keep feeding it, something like that energy field, Metatron will say if you feed it in that very dense energy field, then what happens is it is difficult, but not impossible. Nothing is impossible in your track of ascension. You just made it more difficult on yourself, not because it's good or bad, but because you don't nourish yourself with something that's poisonous, right? Not many people are in that construct where they can say, we're going to take poison and make it good. But in this new energy field, according to the Venusians, you're not trying to make it good or bad. You're just saying, this nourishes me and this does not. It's not good or bad or right or wrong or poison or not. This nourishes me and this does not. Now tell yourself the truth. Does it nourish you in your body and mind, or does it not? This is feeding the human soul construct, these teachings today. We have to feed the soul. Stay human and be honest. It's not about what's good. Remove that word. Just stay honest. What's nourishing? What is it? Yeah. Yeah. Eat the foods that are good for you, that are nourishing. I can't even, it's hard to take away the good and the bad vocabulary. Eat the foods that are nourishing for you. And if that's meat, it's meat. If it's not, it's not. Right? Nothing can hold you back. Thank you for that super chat. So appreciated, Doc Matthews. Oh, you have a question. Okay. He says, I have a small yacht I want to put in a sand lot and surround it with a huge stone circle. Will it be a safe place for children to play? What the Venusians are saying, what have you made the word safe mean to you? Have you made safe good? Have you made safe bad? Are you applying anything logical in that construct? If so, wonderful. There's nothing wrong with logic either. What is the balancing point of energetic nourishment between your logic and between your heart? And when you consider the word safety, They don't use the word balance, but it's the only human word I know. Find your middle way with this. Yeah. So in other words, if you're using a stone circle to make something safe because you believe something is dangerous and bad, guess what? The universe doesn't hear the word not. So consider everything, all of your belief systems when you're doing something like that, Doc. And mitigate your belief systems and pull them into the and consciousness. Yeah. Let's see if we have more questions. Do we need to do anything specific, like a ritual or such as a 3, 21, 22, 23? Those are empowered days because this is the beginning of that opening for this equinox event. It's a huge event. It's not just a portal. It's an event. It's an ending of one 26,000 year cycle. So tomorrow at the light of the full moon, maybe you can create a ritual for yourself to leave behind things that have been distracting you, things that you have been pulling into your life from a dualistic construct. So those could be words that you use that are dualistic, thought patterns that you use that pull you backwards into your old constructs. Leave those kind of things on the table. And obviously, if it's smoking or something that's not nourishing to you, maybe you use that, like put the bottle of wine or the thing of cigarettes on an altar and give that, not to God, not to the universe, to your own soul. Make an altar to your own soul, your human soul, and all of the God self that's in there, which is everything. It's a lot. Typically, when we think about altars, we think about leaving things that we no longer want, or leaving gifts and blessings to a deity or whatnot. But what if we made an altar for our own soul? It's something that they're bringing to us today to consider. It's not that you need to, but you could, particularly tomorrow, because that's a really good time, but especially throughout that whole time. Tomorrow is what, the 19th? And the 20th would be the letting go time. The 21st, 22nd, 23rd would be the calling in the divine memory of your future self as it is right now. Write that down. Calling in the divine memory of your future self as it is, in its power, in its truth, in its sacredness right now. You can even add wholeness for those of you who feel that you're broken. Add that word wholeness in there. These are words that amplify this new energy, and it's like stamping that into the memory of what you already are. Just a little memory, just like a stamp on a piece of mail. Okay. If you're liking this channeling today, please do subscribe. Please click like. That helps my channel grow a lot. I appreciate it. I'm looking for questions right now. Yeah. Oh, they're shaking their head no at you. Alicia says, can someone attach something metaphysical to hijack your abilities to harm the people around you? That's not even 2020, they said. That's 2010. The whole psychic attacks phase, the I am disempowered and something can harm me phase. Are you done yet? Nothing can take something from you. They can only initiate from a belief that is already there. And then you pause, you reset, you go back into the old constructs of fear of something can psychically attack me and hijack my abilities. That's not after this 26,000 year cycle. You'll see less and less people saying that. So whether they can or they can't, in truth, they can't. But in your illusory world, in a very dense mind, The belief systems tell you that they can, and then you play that out. And it feels pretty bad when you play that out. Even though it's not true, it feels really true. So I'm not downplaying anyone who has psychic attacks, but this might be something you want to leave behind during this ending of this 26,000 year cycle. This might be something that you really want to put on that altar and let that go and tell your soul, I will no longer refuse to believe this. I do not consent to my own disempowered belief, because no one gave it to you. You had to have stepped in and jumped on the bandwagon and made it yours in order for it to happen. Right? Is Jesus helping humankind collective? Always has, always will, but not just. Jesus and many beings in that consciousness. You should come to the Redlands. You should come out tomorrow. The link for it is, I think, all over my media, on my Facebook. I just posted today on Instagram, on TikTok. Let's see. How many planetary shifts do we as a collective have to go through until almost everyone awakens? They said, look, not everyone's here to awaken. Some people have already awakened so many times that they're here to play unawake, to help you continue to awaken. The moment you say, I am fully awake, guess what? You have more to awaken from. This is the whole Guru age of awakening being a place to be. That was never meant to be so highly misinterpreted. You're always ascending. You're always awakening. It doesn't stop. So this isn't a matter of how many more planetary shifts, because not everybody's going to wake up, because they're already awakened in a parallel realm. Hear me out. They're in a parallel realm, already awake, playing unawakened, so that you who say you're awake can wake up more. You guys don't like this, but that's what the narcissists are there for. These are what the backdrop people are there for. They're more awake than you. Humble up. Really, humble up. Because when you look around at other people and you judge them as unawake, guess what? It just means you have more to go through. It's the truth. Because the moment a judgment is applied, or a moment an attachment is applied, judgment, you're judging them to be less awake than you, and that they even need to be more awake when they already have and they already are. Right? So this is the time to step into the soul, humble up, and understand that you immediately judged in that moment. You immediately separated from the source consciousness in that moment. Yeah. What about narcissistic cruelty? What about so many things? You have to be able to look at the bird's eye view of what's actually happening, not what your suffering and your attachments are telling you is happening. And this doesn't take away anybody's pain. This doesn't take away or minimize anybody's experiencing, because even though it's meant for love, it doesn't feel that way. And it doesn't mean you're going to step back and allow it to happen. See, the reactive ego will step in and say, well, now the Venusians are telling me that rape is okay. The reactive ego will step in and say, well, now we get to have yucky politicians. Now we get to suffer. Right? This is what the reactive ego will tell you. And that's not true either. This is just looking from the forest, looking at the trees, and you can't see the light on the other side. The only way to see the light is to close your eyes to that and look inside. Then open your eyes and then go serve. Notice the Venusians didn't say, close your eyes and do nothing and pretend it's not happening. That's another thing your reactive ego will say. It'll say, well, that means that silence is consent, and that means I'm not going to do anything to serve. Nope. Close your eyes, go within, give it to your soul, give it to God, and then go serve. then you'll be able to see from the bird's eye new arising energy field that is here, that is truth, that is now, and you'll see why it's happening. It doesn't mean you'll condone it. It doesn't mean you'll like it, but you will be able to see the love in it. So then you'll know what to do. You won't know in advance, though. This is the interesting thing about this new arising energy, this new consciousness, is when you are face to face with a narcissist and they're digging, they've got the digs in and they're just going for you. In an instant, you'll say something and you'll do something, but it'll be non-reactive and the conversation will be over. They just won't be interested in you. One of my teachers, when he's around a narcissist and they're saying horrendous things, he just goes, I love you. You're just being so God right now. Can you see this? Can you see how alive you are with God right now? It's just so invigorating. And I wanted to say I love you. And the person's like, you freaking weirdo. And they walk away. They can't stand to be around him. You guys are too worried about being weird still. What if you just said and did what your soul told you to say and do in the new energy that's arising in your consciousness in that moment? They don't even have any idea what to do with such grace. They just go, I'm out. Right? I say, please forgive my low vibration behavior. Well, that is what it is. Forgiveness is a start, but it's still 2020. This year, you don't even need that because nothing is wrong in these higher realms. These are times when you'll honestly be able to look at someone and say, thank you. Can you do it and mean it? Can you do it and say, thank you for just saying that? It makes me really take a deeper, more humble look at myself. I am going to consider your words, even if they just said the crappiest thing ever. I am going to consider what you just said and did from the light of the God consciousness. I'm going to consider it so deeply that I might even change. What are they going to do? You won't know because you're probably not going to say that, right? But what if you did? These are how the Venusians handle this. Yeah. That your ego will say, I don't like that. That means they win. That means they're going to keep doing it. That means they're going to, you don't know what it means. Admit that you don't know what it means. Let the divine channel through you and say things that you could not possibly say. So many loving things. Not do they deserve it? Not what are they going to do with it? Not what's going to happen later. Right here, right now, what love is going to come from you in this new arising consciousness? Just let it come through. They won't know what to do. They will walk away. They will no longer be interested in you. You'll never be asking me about narcissists and backdrop people ever again. If you start with this new consciousness and if you start today. Okay. Yeah. Any thoughts on children born this year? They're incredible. Has anybody held any of the new children? Very Venusian human. Yeah. I'll take this as a last question. Can you let us know what will happen with finances and banks? What are safe investments? Whew. I don't want to go into the what is, what isn't, but it's going to be changing all the time. That's the first set of information that they're giving us. So what was safe yesterday and what you finally relied upon is not safe right now. What you don't need to do in terms of the new consciousness is forget your power. So don't accept any of these currencies that come in that are backed in a way that serve, how do I say this? That serve those who want to disempower you for whatever that looks like. Notice I didn't say they're good, they're bad, they're right, they're wrong, they're 1%, they're deep state. That's what you would have said in 2020. So now when you change your vocabulary and you look at what's going on, you say, okay, I only serve that which empowers me. It is putting my bank, my money in something that I feel would not empower me, going to be helpful? Is it going to nourish me? Is it going to give back? Think logically as well. Some of the small credit unions are still doing very, very well. Bitcoin is volatile. It's up and it's down. It's not good or bad or right or wrong or falling or rising. It just is volatile. But it's just representing the currency of the human soul and the value that you're actually giving it. You don't give the human soul a lot of value. Your valuation system have been placed upon the dollar still. You want that system to break, but you're still asking what to do with the same money. Do you see what I mean? In this new energy, what I want you to take from this channeling is you just ask yourself, is this true for me? Is this compassionate, not just for me, but for all? Is this connecting? What about if you ask yourself those 3 questions? When I ask myself those questions, sometimes I work with crypto and sometimes I don't. Depends. It depends upon what's happening. Because if we sit around and just like follow everything that's happening all the time, all the stock market people and the experts, not just people who follow stocks, but people who advise in crypto as well, are acting like it's Chicken Little and the sky is falling. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it comes out of the blue and does a massive rise. So you've got to be in this space of what is true for me in this moment. Do I invest today? What is compassionate for me in this moment? What is connecting for me and all in this moment? Right? Because sometimes when you're following that, you're able to help some people. You took your money out of the bank. Yeah. And for those people who are having some of their money on hold in Wells Fargo right now, they're not able to get to some of their funds. You're seeing some things collapse, and the Venusians are kind of reminding you of some of the things you're seeing. Is just that you want more and you want it now. So you're forgetting about some of the things that are collapsing a little bit more slowly. You saw that there was a Silicon Valley bank that has some big problems recently. Big problems. Wells Fargo had another big problem. No one is surprised there, right? Use your head, but use your heart, your real heart. Your real heart is your soul, not how you feel about it, not if it feels right for you. Stop saying, does it align for me or resonate? Take those words out of your vocabulary, because the only thing that the ego is going to do is say, that's right, that's wrong, that's light, that's dark, that's evil, that's goodness. We're still not fully outside of that yet. We've been pulled out of the chrysalis. As caterpillars, we've been pulled out of the chrysalis. And now we're told to fly. But we don't even know what's in the air. You don't get to know up here. And you don't even get to know in here anymore in your heart, because you just confuse it with the ego. So now you get to know from the soul with what arises right here, right now. Thank you so much for the super chats, and thank you for your support. Thank you so much for subscribing. It helps a ton. I do have a Patreon channel for those of you who don't know. I do private mentorships, and there is a code going on for patrons to get, I think, like 30% off or 25% off of mentorship. I do a lot. I still do readings, but I don't know for how much longer. Keep saying that, and then I stop and go with readings. So right now I'm doing readings still. And we have the Patreon channel where we have 2 to 3 things a week that we do. Typically channelings or classes. It's up at the top of the chat. If you want the link, it'll still be there. I love you guys. You're awesome. And for those of you who are seeing me for my in-person sound healing tomorrow over at the Redlands, thank you for your support in that as well. And I can't wait to give you a big hug. Bye.